Hello and welcome to Camp, the Catholic Audiobook in a Month podcast. My name is William Wilson, and today is the first day of The Practice of Mental Prayer by Father Maumigny. I will be reading the preface. But before I do that, I want to give you just a little background on our author. Now, the bad news is there is only a little background on the author. His name was Father René De Maumigny, and he was a Jesuit priest and a Tertian master. Now, tertianship is the final stage of Jesuit formation, with a focus on the spiritual, not the academic. This also includes the full 30-day Ignatian retreat and the spiritual exercises in their full form. So Father Maumigny would have been one who gave that retreat. Not much is known about his life, and his writings are mainly referenced in Ignatian documents. As to the text itself, the author does a fantastic job in the preface of outlining what we are going to learn in this book. So, without further ado, let's get started. Preface. This treatise is composed of 5 parts. Part 1 is devoted to showing the excellence of prayer in general. Part 2 contains the principal acts of ordinary mental prayer. Here I have treated 2 points at length on account of their greater importance. The first point is prayer properly so called, or petition. This is indeed the unfailing means ordained by divine providence for obtaining all the graces of salvation and sanctity. Consequently, nothing is more necessary in mental prayer than to know how to pray. The second point is charity, or pure love of God. This is supremely important, as the aim of mental prayer is a union with God of such intimate character that after it we live only for Him. Now, such union can be brought about only by charity. The subject of Part 3 is affective prayer, in which acts of the will are appreciably more numerous than those of the understanding. Mention is also made here of the frequent raising of the heart to God during the day, the indispensable complement of morning prayer, and the only way to maintain the soul in the fullness of the supernatural life. Part 4 treats of the difficulties of mental prayer, of which dryness of soul ranks first. It is the waterless desert which must of necessity be crossed in order to arrive at the promised land of intimacy with God. Unfortunately, many souls lose courage under this trial. I have endeavored to show how God can always be found by faith in His presence and entire conformity with His most holy will. Is not His will, infinitely holy, adorable, and worthy of being loved always, even in times of desolation, the place of rest for us? Here we have the vital question in mental prayer, for it is only after we have learned to appreciate God's divine will in the midst of interior suffering that the foundation of the edifice is solid and capable of withstanding all winds. Part 5 is confined to the study of the methods of prayer given in the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius. I am thus complying with the request of the religious who have asked me to undertake this work on prayer and who are much attached to St. Ignatius's excellent book. And finally, throughout, I have tried to emphasize the supreme importance of solid virtue. I had even thought of devoting a series of chapters to it, but in the end, I thought it preferable to reserve them for the treatise on extraordinary prayer, where allusions are more frequent and more dangerous. I dedicate this humble work to Our Lady, Mother of all grace, but especially of the gift of prayer, which she imparted to the holy apostles in marvelous way by praying with them in the cenacle. Acts chapter 1, verse 14. By her intercession, may the readers of these pages gain a more perfect detachment from things transitory, a greater desire for what is eternal, and above all else, such a burning love of God that they may no longer live but for His glory and the salvation of souls. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Tomorrow I will read chapter 1 through 3 on the excellence and advantages of prayer. If you have enjoyed today's podcast, please subscribe, rate, share, and help us grow. Also, please check out Orate Books for a paperback or Kindle version of this book. That's ORATE books.com. To learn more about us and for past episodes, please visit camp.fm. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.